Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash level requests video. Thank you so much for 55,000 subscribers. I remember in a video I said I was looking for 52k by the end of the month, and we kind of crossed that. It is much appreciated. Let's gun for 60k by the end of November. By the way, make sure you check all the links in the description. You'll see a Discord server in there, which you can join, and you will find the Google form linked in there to request levels like these. Sepia by Red Skies Music using Route 10 Remix by Arcane Music. Pokemon Black and White song remix. Very interested to see what this is. Looks vibey right off the rip with the black vignette around the outsides and the particles I can see against the edges. Oh. That's a dash orb. That is a cool transition with the glow. Interesting. This is certainly very vibey. You know, it's got the darkness around the edges, which has kind of drawn me into this. The song doesn't 100% fit, but it's definitely very smooth altogether. The designs seem very clean as well. I really like it. The structuring is on point as well. I can see exactly where to go. Although some of the transitions are a bit bright right there. I couldn't tell I was upside down as the ship. By the way, I would love to see a couple more color changes. I know it's supposed to be sepia, but you've proven to me with the glow changes in between parts that you can level it up and down with it still looking good. I would like to see a bit more experimentation with that instead of having it pretty much the same all the way through. Okay, interesting. Then we have a grayscale part to close the level. That's strange. That staircase wasn't on par with the rest of the designs either. This feels a lot more loosely put together than the rest. The rest was so much stronger in my opinion. And cool end screen with the nice looking font that you used before the drop as well. This is pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. It comes around full circle. It goes from grayscale into sepia, and then it ends with grayscale once again. I would love if it was a bit more adventurous in some of the designs, instead of being so reliant on that black space. Since the background shines through at some points in the level, I wish there was more decoration to fill that, especially at the end. It felt like it trailed off a small bit, so I'm gonna send that for a 7-star rating for now. I want to mention, by the way, for that last level that I just played, even the song was made by the creator of the level, so definitely go and gas that up. That is a very cool, completely solo level. Now we're moving on to I'm 16 Now by Trong WF using Evangeline and Redelia Dogglebusters. Ooh, modernistic straight away. Damn, very dynamic right off the bat with all of the movement. What is that? Oh my god. Those snapping structures right there with 0 move time, but they still move into place, like step by step. That's so cool. Dude, I love the effects in this, how it keeps on swapping to black, but it shows you where the blocks are going to be so you don't mess up. That is so awesome. Dude, the structuring, the pulses, the colors are just so solid all around, and this is only halfway through. Oh my god, dude. This is nuts. What a great level to start off this video. Oh my. It's requested 9 stars. I don't know if I see that, to be honest. I think it could be an easy demon because of the length as well. I think it's going to be the same length as Rush Hour, which is almost XL if I remember correctly. Oh, we're taking a back seat in this part, actually. Still modern, but it's a lot sleeker than the rest. Okay, compared to what we've just played, this isn't nearly as energetic, but it's still a good-looking part. And you can tell that he's changed up the style for the different sound of the song at this part. I really enjoy this. I would give this an epic rating if I could, but as some of you may not know, mods can't actually send for epic, unfortunately. So this will be getting sent for a feature. That was sick. Trong WF. I'm going to follow that creator for sure. I just think that's an absolute banger. Great level. World described it the best. Nifty. I really like that word. That's a good way to describe this level. Just the way that everything changes all the time. And it seems to be pretty well put together as well. Like the transitions were so seamless. Oh, next up, we've got Limit Breaker by BNC using Limit Break by Sterezo. Sorry for the bad gameplay. I'll do better next time. Why do people put prefaces at the beginning of the level about bad gameplay? Like, if you put a message saying sorry or something at the beginning of the level, that is an immediate first impression that the level is bad, you know what I mean? But it's just not. This is good. It's just a little bit difficult, like the specific timings, but that's what a demon is, right? Specific timings. It seems good to me. The designs are pretty neat. The colors are definitely where they need to be, but the execution seems to be a slight bit off in the structuring and the way that the level's actually flowing. There's lots of either tall or wide structures and then big open transition sections, which kind of throws me off. Like, it makes it difficult for me to really vibe with it as a whole. And there's an invisible portal here. Why? It just turns me upside down out of nowhere. That's kind of silly when you think about it, isn't it? But yeah, look at this. You've got the colors spot on. Like, you know how to make a good looking structure. Now it's just time to apply it with all of the other details well arranged, you see. It feels a bit off how the swords are disconnected and the structures take up a lot of the screen at a time. Also, I feel like this is a nong. It doesn't seem to be syncing to the original song unless there's a practice mode issue. I'm not sure. But yeah, look at this structuring. It's neat. It has some sick parts, but in the midst is just some really weird organization. It seems to jump around in quality a lot, but I love the shading in the beginning. Like, this is definitely my favorite part, the grayscale blocks with the colors in between, and I love how it floats up onto the screen. Like, you've shown me that you can definitely make a good looking transition, but it's just not really done. It just feels like the level's slightly unfinished, especially when you've got default swords just lying around there that don't really link into the design too much at all. Yeah, but I definitely appreciate the design effort and the lengths that you've went to get what you have to work. It just needs a bit of polishing. Maybe with some different easing between parts and stuff like that, it will be a lot better. You by Minty Chuffs using Moon by Ruko29. I love the concept of the level revealing itself and the rain that pours down there. That's cool. The first thing I want to comment on, I'm playing this in slow motion by the way, is the fact that the glow is laid underneath the bricks, which makes the design reveal itself as you're going. But it also matches really well with the low opacity spikes that are overlaying this and the rain that's pouring down and the glow around the orbs. This just looks super cool. It's pretty underdeveloped, but the concept there is absolutely brilliant. I think the bricks back there could definitely have some sort of overlay to them to make them a bit more interesting than just the default bricks, like this is done really with the ground details. Dude, what? What a nuts section to transition into. This is the development I'm looking for with the glow on the bottom, different moving elements that complement each other really well. This gameplay is kind of nuts, by the way. Sorry I'm dying so much. The swirling lines, like, this is so cool, but at the same time, it's so open in certain areas, it kind of makes me lose my immersion in all of this. Like, can you imagine if everything was covered up and I was, like, really surrounded in it, instead of only certain blocks having that effect? And again, like, the middle of the screen is pretty basic, but around that, it just looks so goddamn cool with all the different lines and stuff. That's sick. You've kept up the theme of rain and weather really well on this level by using gray and white and black with some other colorful glow pieces that's like, it's like the rain smudging the design, right? But sections like these that are a little bit drawn out and bland with not much going on, as I explained earlier, just feels so out of place compared to the rest. And I love that it comes back around full circle with the darkness. I don't think this is something I'm going to send, but I really like the concept of it. Definitely climactic, but definitely fell apart around the edges. It was a bit rough that way. All-wheel drive by Samium using Geoxor Virtual. I love the shading on this, how it feels so dark, and then the portals and orbs that kind of stick out as a guiding light above everything. This is cool. I actually really like the seclusion of this, and the backgrounds being like focused on the center. Very interesting. It fits the song. The song has like a dark undertone to it, right? It seems very solid so far. I love the movement on the structures and stuff. Transition felt a little bit open. It's really rare to see this kind of gray work super well with the rest of the colors. Like, the contrast is so low, but it works, right? This is definitely interesting. I like this a lot. I hope the last part is climactic enough. Yeah, it's different. Okay, this is sick. And I love this synchronization of the overlay with the music. I agree with what the comments are saying about how it's repetitive, but there are definitely variations from part to part. Like, I think it's pretty well put together personally. Okay, so yeah, you can see just how gloomy it really is in the editor right here. And I love the way that these colors invert from block to block. You can see it on the one on the right over there. So you could definitely have some extra pulses with some brighter colors to kind of mix it up there. If I space these pulses a bit closer together around that point, you can see how the blocks kind of flash around each other like that. There you go, you see that in game? Plus the backgrounds really are just static stripes that don't really change, and it's relying on these huge pulsing circles to kind of lift that space and make it a bit more interesting and feel a bit more bouncy with the rest. And you see how these edges just repeat these diamonds and squares all the way around. Like, every single part has these. Like, why not switch it up? You could definitely do stuff on top. See, it looks good right there. You are a creator with no creator points. I hope to change that. I'm going to send this for 6-star feature. Pulsus Stiller by XTQMP using Vero Scarab, or is it Viro? Latin for beat drop. Oh, hell yeah, this is going to be a sick fast-paced level, isn't it? Let's go. Those colors are very insane. What? Okay, we have ourselves a very flashy design level. Let's go. Haven't had one of these for a long time on the series, so Let's just check this out. I mean, what I'm noticing straight away, if I put on slow mode once again, you see these beams that pop up in front of the player? They are not consistent all the way along. Why is there a random patch over there on the left side? That is super weird. We are going to trust the process, though. It's getting slightly more empty in between the blocks. As you can see, the background is shining through, which is not really what you want. The glow on the bottom doesn't fit in too well. Excuse me? What just happened there? Oh, goodness gracious. This has fallen off. What happened? It was so good at the start, and then it's so empty. Like, the ground spikes just run out or something. That's unfortunate. It doesn't seem to be a finished level. Layla by Adafka using Reg Sende Rainy Friday. Chill beats release. Hell yeah. We're going back to lo-fi, which had a sick beat drop. Now we're going to the lo-fi hip-hop. Let's go. Very neat to start off with. I love the moving compartments in these blocks and how the level's lighter on the bottom than it is on the top. The color depth is just so great to start this off. This is awesome. Oh my god, that color scheme is absolutely beautiful. Damn. Very solid modern level. Yes, love it. Transition is sick. I love the two-tone nature of that, how the background is like in a tiny little stripe in the middle. It works so well. Yes, it's minimalistic, but it's also so detailed in the areas that it needs to be. And the transitions are spot on, apart from the fact that you use invisible blocks with the ship, but that's fine. Back to this style though. Why do levels do this? Stop rushing levels. You're ruining them. Make a nice solid ending, please. No hate, obviously. I just think it could have been cooler. Really good level. Blew me away once it actually kicked in. It's just a shame that it started to trail off towards the end. There's been quite a few cool levels today that have just fallen short in quality towards the end. It's such a shame. As my friend Lake always says, these levels have end-of-the-level-itis. It's a deadly disease that makes the levels just a million times worse. It's a disease that completely scraps any potential that a level has running for it. But we move on to La Katrina by Delicious8 using Spooky Scary Rhythm Boys by Bleezik, I believe. Believe. But boo! Ah, gotcha. Nice. Ooh, I like it. What? Very cool theme to start off. Wow. Are we actually going to enter that haunted house? That would be so sick. This is so good. Dude, it's a Halloween level. I'm a little bit late, not going to lie. I'm really sorry. But yes, I dig the vibe of this. I wish the blocks had a bit more depth behind them that separated them a bit more because they're kind of meshing in with what else is going on. It's a bit difficult for my eyes to focus on one specific thing. Oh, you jump on the hand. Okay, I see. Guys, the level gave me a hand. I died. That was a cool transition. What? Oh, this is so cool. The actual boss is so cool looking as well. And I love the floral design in the background. It really fits in with like the Dia de los Muertos. Unfortunately, the surroundings aren't quite as built up as I would like them to be. But that doesn't mean that the level can't gas me up. Super cool ideas. I just don't know if I want to send that because obviously it was a bit rough around the edges. A term that I've used quite a bit today, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not, there's no foreground, there's no background. It just all seems to be on the same plane, which is a bit weird. But I definitely digged the surroundings that you were going for. I love the floral background. I think it fit in perfectly with the boss. Man, I love the artistic value in this level. It looks so cool, right? It does have 140,000 objects, though. And you see what I mean? Like, these structures have lit edges, and they've got shading on the inside. But on the outside, there's nothing. So if I went to a different editor layer, say number 6 maybe, and started putting in some black glow behind. Okay, I'm hacking at this point, but we'll make a new color channel. Apparently the next free is 257. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how anyone can use that many color channels like that. You see what I mean? If I level this up as well, you can see the contrast that that structure now has to the background as opposed to the other ones. I don't know. Definitely something to consider. And then the boss fight, I love the transition in. That was so cool. I'm actually going to play that again. Boom. That's so sick how it rotates and everything. And that corridor transition was awesome as well. Something else I want to point out, the hidden details. The little face in the bottom left of the screen right there behind the pumpkin and the tree. That's so cool. I love it when people add hidden details like that. But yeah, in this boss fight, there's not much that's instantly recognizable to me as the foreground. Like, obviously, there's the plants down here, but if you had some ground spikes or something that built up the actual foreground in front of me, then it would be a lot more recognizable than just some flowers that sit in the middle. Definitely a cool level, just not something I'm going to send because of A, the object count, and B, it was a bit flawed in its actual you know, level. Undefined by Bowtie GD using This Is Turning Me On by Dicewix. Ooh. Now, I feel like I have seen this on YouTube, not gonna lie. I do recognize the way that the structures are set out. I can't react to this really, but I will say what my initial thoughts are. I love the foreground in this. How it seems to be quite foggy around the edges. It just literally looks like a filter on the screen. And I love that flash right there because there's multiple layers beneath the blocks that all spread out. I think this is really cool. Like the ambience here is absolutely brilliant. I think it's kind of carried by it though. You see the designs? They're all completely empty on the inside and they all rely on the pulses on the outlines to make them interesting to look at. That's like the only drawback of this level. I think the rest of it is absolutely phenomenal. I love the lighting and I love the way that it's put together. It's definitely quirky. It's one of these quirky levels, but it works super well. Like I'm sight reading this game. Okay, apart from that part, I'm sight reading the gameplay. And there's really bright arrows to tell me what to do as well, which is neat. And the arrows don't take away too much from the rest of the visuals. Now, the orbs are above the rest of the level here, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. Like, the pads are as well. There's a really weird imbalance of front and back here that just makes me feel really uncomfortable towards the end, which is probably the goal of the level when I think about it, but at the same time, I kind of prefer the slightly more smooth version of the level with, like, the better sync to the drums and whatnot. But this is definitely cool. I love how smudged this all feels together. I can't do this for the life of me. Thank you. Undefined. Definitely a banger to end the video. I thought that was pretty decent. I love the blurriness to it. I love the concept of underlaying a bunch of lines and then making them all spread out to sync with the song. Such an interesting level. Definitely go and check it out on YouTube by Bowtie GD. Gonna send that for our featured demon rating. Awesome. Good job. Anyway, that's another awesome level request video done and dusted. There's a bunch of bangers in there. Very cool ideas, but they just don't really hold up as a level. You know what I mean? That's what I want to crack down on. Thank you so much for watching this Geometry Dash level request video. Check the links in the description, leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.